So JT Barrett alone in the backfield. Barrett's going to keep it. Barrett, end zone, touchdown. Barrett, touchdown. And that's Victor with the catch. Barrett keeps it. Add on 2 more. That was easy.
He is the reigning Big Ten co-offensive player of the week after accounting for 4 touchdowns in Ohio State's come-from-behind win over Indiana. JT Barrett, the Buckeyes quarterback, joining us from our studio in Columbus. JT, how would you rate the Game 1 performance?
I think personally there were some things, like I wish I could have done better, but I think overall, I think us as a team just coming back from that first half and regrouping and making sure we make those adjustments at halftime and come out there and having a better half was really good for us.
What were the halftime adjustments? Because clearly they worked.
I think Coach Day, one of the main things he told me was just steady in the boat. Don't panic out there, and just getting the rhythm offensively and being an up-tempo offense. Being in the rhythm is definitely important in getting that first down, and once we do that, then everything will start clicking.
You said there are some things you would have liked to have done differently. I know you are a huge student of the game and you watch a ton of film, so you critique yourself pretty rigidly. Give me a sense of what those things you might wanted to have improved on would be.
I'll probably say I guess it would be keep it going as far as when we start a drive, make sure we get that first down. I think sometimes I would get us stagnant, whether it be like not completing and getting greedy on certain pass plays, and then also too missed a couple of deep balls. I know Paris had dropped that one, and we rebounded from that, but then there was another one with Marcus that I didn't connect on, and so things like that I wish I would have played better in.
Yeah, there's a lot of talk clearly in the offseason about the deep passing game and trying to improve that, and Kevin Wilson and Ryan Day and the impact that they might have. Give us a sense. You talked about you only took a couple shots. One of them was a perfect strike into the end zone that was dropped. Give us a sense, though, of how you feel like the deep passing game has progressed, kind of almost irrespective of what we saw on the field against Indiana.
Yeah, I think there's been major growth when it comes to that as far as the preseason practice, also spring ball, and so we definitely, made strides in that area. But when it comes to the game, I mean, all those practices and doing well in practice has to show when it comes to game time. So I think just going out there and making the plays out there in games, because know that, you're only going to have a couple of shots in a game, so we just have to connect on them and just do better in that area, all of us.
What are the biggest changes in general that Kevin Wilson and Ryan Day have made on this offense, and particularly with this passing game?
I'll probably say just having everything marry up together, whether it be protection, my footwork, the routes, and timing and spacing, because that's all the passing game is timing and spacing, and that's how you have to work in order to succeed. So with that, everything is now married together, and I think it complements each other well as far as the protection in the O-line to my footwork and timing in my drop back, and then also the routes and timing up together.
I want to focus on some of your teammates. J.K. Dobbins got a ton of headlines after that performance, 181 yards, the most ever for a freshman in an opener at Ohio State. Give people a sense. We were blown away by him when we saw him in camp, but give people a sense for just how good he is and what his skill set is that has stood out to you.
Yeah, so it was, I guess we were seeing it in spring ball and also in camp, so it was one of those things like it was a surprise to us, I guess. Like we knew he could do all those things that he did on Saturday or on Thursday. So I think his capabilities, I think something that we really didn't see was his breakaway speed. He also, when he get in open field, make people miss and break away from somebody out there in the open field. So those are things that he's capable of doing. And then the ground and pound, he was able to get off blocks or get off tackles. So yards after contact, all those things that he showed on Thursday, and then also be able to break away.
We all know how great a back Mike Weber is. So now that Mike Weber is coming back, how do you see those two coexisting in the backfield? What's that going to look like, kind of pragmatically on the field in terms of splitting carries and that type of thing?
Yeah, so I think something that's going to be great is JK, he had a lot of carries, and we wouldn't want, I guess, our running backs having that many carries. 29's a heavy load. So I guess both of them feeding off one another, probably, both of them having probably 17 carries for the both of them. But having them, I guess, come in and out, having like a little lightning and thunder type of feel to the backfield will be good, and just take the load off one another.
Huge game this week, clearly, against Oklahoma. You are the first three-time captain in Ohio State history, so your leadership is something that everyone on this team values. How do you lead in a week like this?
Just make sure our preparation is together. Coach always talks about the most prepared team is going to win that game, and so making sure that we really emphasize everything that's happening in practice. And so when it comes to the game, we will be connecting on all cylinders. So having a great week of practice, I think that's very critical to a big week or a big game. And so I think that's what, not just myself as being a leader, but also the other captains, 9 or 8 captains, is that making sure that we have a great week of practice and go out there on Saturday and be successful.
JT, I know you've been studying Oklahoma closely. What stands out when you look at their defense?
A lot of athletes, kind of like last year, a lot of athletes flying around. They play in the Big 12 where they throw the ball a lot, so they have a lot of speed out there. I think they got stocky guys up front, play them different ways, but definitely hard to run up in the middle, being how stout they are. And like I said, just speed out there on the field as far as running around.
What was the biggest thing you took from that game last year that you can carry into this one this year?
They're not going to go down easy. I feel like, I think there was a lot of talk as far as like, we blew the game open or anything like that, but I don't think that was the case even last year. I think that they're a football team that's going to continue to fight, and that, they're not going to go away early, and also with their offense being that they could, strike at any time. So we got to make sure that we keep the time of possession, hold on to the ball, have good long drives, and I don't know, just take care of the football so we don't have turnovers and give their offense more chances to score.
Ohio State quarterback JT Barrett. JT, thanks as always for your time. Really a pleasure to talk to you.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.